All right, so this is some of my remote viewing results from the training program that I took over the weekend. This training program was basically taught by Paul Smith, who was part of the Army Military Stargate program. He was trained directly by Ingo Swann when they had the remote viewing program, and we're developing all this as part of SRI, Stanford Research Institute, the CIA. So basically, if you don't know what remote viewing is, it's basically psychic ability to view a target that you don't know anything about. So basically, the way that it works is you put down your name, where you did the viewing, the date, the time, who your monitor was, basically who was giving you the target numbers. You just write anything that's on your mind, right? Before you get started. So I had feeling kind of tired. I was texting my family. I had some work to get done, thinking about dinner and some allergy reactions. So that's basically the start. They give you the tasking number, and what you do immediately is you draw. It's kind of like kinesthetically, just from your subconscious to your hand, draw just it was called an ideogram, basically an outline. It's not really an outline of the target. It's just a kinesthetic reaction to the target through your hand. Now, this one was, it kind of looked similar to other ones that I did for previous targets, so we wanted to make sure I was on the right target. So I took the signal line again, or I took the target coordinates, the target number again, and did the ideogram again. And this time you can see it's much different, and I think I was on target with this one for sure. So then you kind of describe it. So it felt like it was rising up, kind of bumping over, sliding down. There's an angle. I went from this side. So rising up, bumping over, sliding down, an angle here, straight up, over, straight down. It felt hard to me. Then you identify what you think this is as a structure. So after you identify, this is called the main gestalt, basically the main gist of what the target actually is. Usually these are only land, water, or a structure. So in this case, it was a structure. So then you go into S2, stage 2. This is where we write down sensory impressions of the target. So I wrote down, immediately I got gray, white, AOL break. This is basically analytic overlay. So whenever you get like your left brain kind of giving you an image of something, the image is usually wrong. It's usually not the target, but it might have something to do with the target. So we always document it just to get it out of our head and to get it on paper. So immediately I was reminded of kind of like nuts and bolts. Felt very mechanical. This is actually a stage 4 kind of impression, so we wrote S4 on there. These are some of the next things that I got. So we have smoggy black, sooty, blue, bright, black again, tall, dirty. I got the color red, kind of striped. I don't know where the striped is coming from, but I got like stripes, white, again, black, a lot of black, long, AOL break. Is basically taking a break to write the AOL. Reminds me of stripes on a flag. I got this stripe impression, but clanging, echoing, metallic, rocky, AOL break, white painted concrete pavement was the image I had in my mind. Another AOL break. It reminded me of a warehouse or like with like a parking lot, but I really was getting this kind of like warehouse image, kind of where I used to work. Or like, I was reminded of like a train, another AOL break there. Whistling, cold, bumpy, hard, smooth. These are all just kind of sensory impressions. AOL break reminded me of metal beams. Boxy was kind of dimensional starting to come in. AOL break reminded me of kind of like wavy metal panels, like a metal shed kind of. Wavy, gray, silver, cold, hard, thin, yellow, breezy, bustling. These are all sensory impressions that are coming in. AOL break, I felt like there was maybe a road nearby, was the analytic overlay I was getting there. Then I got kind of this image in my mind of like this tall, cylindrical kind of object, maybe some stripes on it like that. Round, tall, boxy, grooved, cementy. AOL break reminds me of a, what did I write there? Something house. Oh, warehouse again. Yeah, warehouse. Or smokestack. So that warehouse idea was coming in again. Smokestack definitely reminded me of smokestack. Dirty, dusty, yellow, reminds me of a construction site. And then I got woody, a very kind of woody kind of smell. Reminds me of a house under construction or wood chips. Now we start to get more into closer to stage 3, but at this point I started to draw kind of what I had felt compelled to draw right here. Yellow, plasticky, boxy, open, these more kind of dimensional. AWOL break, large building with square hole in the ceiling. So for some reason I was getting like an image in my mind of like a very large building, which I did draw this AOL later to get it on paper, but I don't know why there's a hole in the ceiling, but it just felt like, or some kind of square thing in the middle of this building, but that's an AOL, so that's my analytic overlay. Again, those are usually wrong, but you're supposed to record them down on paper because sometimes they do relate to the target. Then I had a lot of dimensionals coming in, so tall, round, black, grated, metal, heavy, and then an AI break. This is basically an aesthetic impact, meaning kind of your personal impression. And I just felt kind of, this is kind of a dangerous place to be. Like, you do need to be cautious, was kind of the feeling I got. This was subtle, but we were supposed to record this down. And then once we get this, we start to move into sketching. And so I just felt like I needed to draw these kind of graded things. This felt like a heavy mechanical or a metal kind of thing here. I just drew what I felt I needed to draw. Again, I don't know exactly what all this relates to, but you'll see later what this might be. And I felt like there was some kind of a building that was stacked. I wrote, the image reminded me of a birthday cake because it was kind of like 1, 2, 3, so I had to write that down, shaped like a birthday cake. I don't know, I felt like there was something here on the sides. And then I got this, stacked was the feeling I got from this, but again, you're supposed to write these down. Again, kind of this tall smokestack kind of image, something sticking or jutting out, kind of like levers or something. Again, this kind of graded pattern. Hot, humid, and grimy were kind of more sensations that I had. Here's the AOL kind of image that this is, again, just kind of getting the analytic overlay image out of my head, right? Kind of like a warehouse with a big thing in the middle with some cars, maybe a parking lot. I just wanted to get that out. This is more the intuitive side. As I was drawing, I really felt compelled. There's the kind of these smokestack things, boxy kind of dimensions here, and there's multiple of those. Something like lines, like almost like railroad tracks, which I wrote with the AOL break here. And again, some kind of like levers or something jutting out. That was what I wrote down. So then we do a summary. The target is a structure with dark, tall, round, smoky elements, what is that word? Gradiated, heavy, grimy elements, possibly hot and humid. AOLs suggest a warehouse, smokestacks, train or construction site like atmosphere. Structure also has concrete and some striped elements, nuts and bolts, mechanical element also present. Atmosphere also seemed to include dusty, metallic, clanging aspects. This is kind of my summary of what I think, I got from the target. Then we write target end, 1832. And this is the target that I got afterwards. So this is the global something, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's in South Africa, but it is a paper mill. As you can see, there are multiple smokestacks. There is kind of that kind of stacked building. It is I mentioned woody as well, right? So like this, there's actually other photos of this you can look up, and they do have it's a wood chip processing center. Like there's tons of kind of that woody smell. If we look at the outlay and outline of this building, there's a lot of things that I was drawing that could be included in there, but I was right on target with this. And actually, when we reviewed this in my session results, we actually went over a bunch more. We went over a lot more photos of this site. These are just a couple, but you can see how accurate that was and how on target it was. So I was really, really happy with this session. And this is basically only up to a stage 3 session, although I did get kind of a stage 4 aspect with kind of the mechanical feel of it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, and that's the video.